Hi everyone, I'm Carrie and I am back after, I think it's been like 6 weeks since my last video, so thank you for your patience. If you have been waiting for me to like update y'all on my cross stitch, I swear like I mean to post on Instagram and then I forget and then I look at my feed and realize I haven't posted in like 3 weeks, but I am cross stitching, I am quilting, I am doing things. Sometimes I'll even take pictures and forget to put them in my stories, so usually that's where I'm the most active is on Instagram stories because that's easy to just throw something up. But I am finally back. I have a lot to share today, so I think this video might be a little bit long. I have a number of finishes and I have started a lot of stuff. I haven't stitched on Halloween or fall all year, and I don't know why I decided to do that to myself because it's like my favorite thing to stitch. And I guess I was thinking when January hit, I wanted to work on things that could be out all year and not just seasonal things. So I kind of made myself focus on that, which I did pretty well on, I think. But right after my last video, I was just really feeling fall and Halloween, so I just dove in and I'm in my happy place. Like this is my comfort stitching for me, is just any kind of fall, Halloween, and probably Christmas after that. So I'm glad to finally be back and doing what I really want to work on. So I am going to share, I know in my last video I said I was going to share about my bee cross stitches, and I am, but I think instead of bringing everything in here and holding it up to the camera, I'm going to take the camera out into the living room and give y'all kind of like a video tour of what I have out there on display. I think it'll be easier. So I'll just have Jake put in a video, I don't know, here-ish. I am in my living room and this is where I have all my bee cross stitch displayed. This top piece back here that says I would rather be stitching is a pattern by Primrose Cottage. I stitched it on 25 count white Lugana, and the finishing board is from Paisleys and Polka Dots. And then this is from, it's Heart and Hand. I always get Heart and Hand and Hands on Design mixed up. I think this is Heart and Hand, and that was like a, I think it's called a honey of a frill, Frill. So I just made it into a little pillow, stitched it on 36 count. I think it's flax, maybe, just a basic Zweigart. And then this is a Primrose Cottage piece from their 12 monthly minis book. I think this is the August chart, but I thought it was perfect to add to my bee stitch collection. I glued some baker's twine around it and stitched on the same fabric as the other one. This piece I stitched a long time ago before we moved, probably back in 2022, 2021 maybe. It's seen some better days. I'm looking at it now, like it looks kind of dirty, like something, maybe a dog got it at some point. But this one is called, I think it's another Heart and Hand. And the chart comes with very small seed beads that you can use. And I believe I think it's a 16 count Ada. But that was cute. And I had it clipped in a frame, but this year when I put stuff out, I didn't like how it looked. So I took it out of the frame and just leaned it up against. And then here I bought this drawer last year at a thrift shop and I sanded it. I think it went into one of like an old sewing machine table. So I took the drawer and I sanded it and then I restained it and I lined the inside of the drawer with contact paper that looks kind of like honeycomb. And these bee knobs are from Hobby Lobby. And in it I put some raffia. I have a little honey wand sticking in here. This is the Honeybee Quaker, I think, from Primrose Cottage, and that's just stitched on 36 count white. And this, I think this one too is 36 count white. Summer Wishes and Bumblebee Kisses, also from Primrose. They have some great bee patterns. And then this one, Be Nice or Buzz Off. And I just stick them in my little drawer. This piece is from Hobby Lobby. I think it's with the spring stuff, so I don't know if you can still get it, but it'll be out next year. This is from Primrose Cottage as well, and it is it's one of their monthly charts. August 9 patch, I think, is what it is. And it looks like it's on 25 count white Lugana. And now in order to show y'all the Bee Queen, I have to take this off the hinges, so move that aside. Set that up. This is the Bee Queen by Tiny Modernist, and I love this piece. I stitched it last year, and I think it was all I worked on dedicated for like 12 days straight. And I was so sick of it by the time I was done, but I love how it turned out. And I think it's all just DMC on, it looks like Zweigart Raw 36 count. But I really like that piece. And the rest of this cabinet is just kind of random cross stitch odds and ends. So that is the right side of our entertainment center. And then up above the TV, I got this sign at Hobby Lobby. And then on the left side of the entertainment center, these two pillows here are from Shepherd's Bush. I believe it's a pattern they designed. And it is on 36 count. I believe it's teeny tiny. I believe this pillow was supposed to be like a scissor fob, but I decided it was just going to be a little pillow. The trim around these I bought at Hobby Lobby in the yarn section. I just found a nice chenille yarn that looked like the right yellow. And then these two pieces back here are both Primrose Cottage, and the wood pieces are from Paisleys and Polka Dots. Stitched on 25 count white Lugana, and I glued this cute little honeycomb wand on the bottom. I think I got a pack of 4 from Amazon. And then this piece here, I think it's called, well, I can tell you for sure it's by Cute Embroidery by Kate. And it might just be called Be Happy or Be Happy Doxy. The only thing I did differently on this was I added a little bee antenna because I thought that was an opportunity missed. So, and it's stitched on 36 count raw, I think. This is a Stitching with the Housewives What's in My Cup pattern. It also used to be framed, but I couldn't fit it in the display this year, so I just took it out of the frame. And then this piece here is another Primrose. I did this as a stand-up. Not sure it was really worth the trouble. I don't think I would finish it the same way if I had to do it over. But it's stitched on 25 count white Lugana. This box here came from the Target One spot a few years ago, and so did this little hive basket. And then I have my little sign here from Hobby Lobby. This is another primrose. I think it's called ABC, B-E-E, ABC. I finished it on a cutting board I found at Hobby Lobby in the, I think it was in the unfinished wood section, but it was finished. I mean, I think it's acacia wood. And I just added a little bee charm with another honeycomb wand. And then the last bee piece I stitched several years ago. This is a Cherry Hill Stitchery cross stitch design, and I finished it on a piece of wood. I think it might have come from, it's from Michael's. We don't have a Michael's here, so I miss Michael's. But I did a cupboard button, and that one turned out cute. So that one finally got to come out this year. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my bee stuff. Try to give y'all a better view. And I like that I can see it while I'm watching TV or cross stitching. And I'm very happy to say that I have room. I could still make more bee stuff. Okay, so the Halloween stuff that I've been working on, I've mostly been doing Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread patterns because I don't know, she does the best smalls for seasonal stuff, and I just love her patterns. So the first one I picked up was called Hallows Eve at Raven's Hollow. And I did finish it. This is stitched on 36 count light hazelnut by XJU. And it was my first time working on this fabric, and I really liked it. And I would definitely stitch on it again. It's a good neutral golden brown light hazelnut. I think I used all the called for too. And my frame came from art2frame.com, and I'm kind of upset with them because when it came, there was a defect right where my fingernail is. And it was so obvious, like, you know, the person who worked on the frame, like, saw that and didn't fix it. So, it was like missing the little round bit, like it chipped off. And I certainly was not going to return it and have it redone. So I just took a black Sharpie and colored it in. And it was fine. So you can't even tell. And it was, I think the frame was like $14 plus shipping. Shipping is always like $10.95, I think. So not that big of a deal, but I was still kind of miffed. And I have a layer of batting behind it to give it a little bit of puff. And I'll probably just set this up on an easel maybe. Because I didn't put any hanging hardware on it or anything. But it's cute. It turned out really nice. I was kind of sick of the green. It was not her usual green colors that she has. I know she normally does like Weeks Dye Works Olive and Oscar. And I think this one had Endive by Gentle Arts. I can't remember the other one, but I was kind of sick of doing green by the time I finished that border. So that is Hallows Eve at Raven's Hollow by With Thy Needle and Thread. Then after I finished that, I decided I was going to do, this is called Boo and Bobby, and it is done with all the called for threads on the called for fabric, which is 36 count doubloon by Picture This Plus. And I think I messed up somewhere here. I don't know, the math was not mathing and I got off somewhere, so I just compensated for it and you wouldn't even know. So I wasn't too worried about it, but I couldn't figure out where I messed up. There is a top and bottom border on this piece as well, and it's just white. I think it's the color of the sheep. It's just white little squares. And I really didn't want to have to line that up in the frame, so I decided not to stitch the top and bottom border. It was just so, I mean, it's really pretty faint anyway, so I didn't think it would add all that much if I did it, so I just decided not to. And then the wool I got, I think I just searched Etsy for mustard wool and I ordered like a 9x12 sheet. The pattern just said it was mustard. I don't know what the brand was or anything, just mustard. And I think you can usually order the supplies from Brenda's website, but I don't know if I could, I don't think I saw it on her site. But when it came, it was certainly the right color and it worked out fine. So I just cut out the flower shapes and attached them with French knots. And I'm happy that's done. And the frame, this one is also from art2frame.com. Then I also did Harvest Blessing. Oh, it's called Celebrate Harvest. Let me move my bow. And this one, I stitched it on 36 count oaken by Picture This Plus. And the 1621 at the top is over 1, which I didn't have any trouble with. So I usually with over 1, I'll put it in a frame and do the stick and stab. That's about the only way I can do over 1 and have it turn out halfway decent. But here's the back. And I just put some lace trim around it before I turned it right side out. And it's filled with sawdust that I collected off the floor of our house when our woodworker was building our kitchen cabinets. So I have a ton of sawdust tucked away. So that is Celebrate Harvest by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I think the pattern cover, she has you thread dried corn kernels. And I tried that and the corn kernels just broke. So I don't know what the secret is. I couldn't even find a needle that would get through the corn kernels. So I just ended up sticking a little bow up here because I gave up on the corn kernel idea. But it's cute. I've wanted to do this one for a long time, and I saw Tara Sullivan do it over on her channel, Sully Stitches. And I thought, that's it. I need to just bang that one out. So I did. And it's cute. Then I was watching Jordan, the Tattooed Stitcher, and she had mentioned this fabric called Oil Green by XU, and I got a fat quarter of 36 count from Kitten Stitcher. And this is Lollies, Crows, and Candy Corn. I don't know where the crows come in, but there's candy corn and lollies. And it was just a cute little chart, and since the fabric was green and these lollies up here were green, I did change my colors. I think the blue one I used Weeks Dye Works Caribbean, and the pink I think I did Classic Color Works Priscilla's Peppermint. And then down here in the cheeks, the called for color was so close to the color of the pumpkin that you just couldn't see the cheeks. So I used the same color pink that is in the ghost cheeks up here. And I think, and then on the bottom here, I used, what was it called? I had the loudest, brightest green. It was a Weeks Dye Works, and it was one of those colors that like you get, I got it probably in a club shipment, and I thought, I don't know what I'm ever going to use this color for. It's like electric green. So instead of doing the checker at the bottom in the brown and white, I just decided I would slap the green in there and see how it looked. And I'm happy with it. The over one just about killed me. I did put it in a hoop, and I did the stick and stab method. This swirl over here is definitely off. I decided not to fix it. By the time I got over here, I had found my stride, and I could figure out, it's hard because when you're doing over one, and Brenda's Patterns has the over one every other linen thread, that trips me up so bad. So especially when you're counting diagonally, and it was hard. It was a challenge. So my trim is Lady Dot Creates, I think it's called Wizard. And I just thought a fun loud purple to go with this linen. And my backing fabric, I chose this because it was the closest thing to me at the time. That was Halloween, and I just didn't want to go digging. This is from the Moda line Noir by Alley Cat, and I had a ton of it, so I think that's about it for that one. I like it. It turned out cute, and I tied an actual bow. I think that's how the pattern has you do it. And I just stuffed it with polyfill. Sawdust is, I love the feel of sawdust, but it's so messy and it takes forever because you have to pack it in there to really get it how you want it. And I was tired. So that is called Lollies, Crows, and Candy Corn. And I think I got my pattern from Country Sampler. It was kind of hard to find online, but I was able to get it from Country Sampler. And then most recently, I did Field Mouse Hollow by With Thy Needle and Thread. And this was done on, I had been in the right place at the right time, and I was able to get some of the orphan fat quarters from Needle and Flax, the ones that had like defects in them that I cannot find these defects. I mean, the linens are all beautiful, but so I don't know what the linen is. I just know it's 36 count Needle and Flax. And I think the only thing on this that I did differently was the purple at the bottom of this mouse's dress. It was not showing up the called for. It was too close to the dress color, so I did darken it a little bit. And I just went into my stash and pulled a few purples that I thought looked good and went with it. So I don't remember what I used, but the same thing kind of happened in the orange dress too, but I decided I'll just leave it alone. And the only over one in this one is the pumpkin's eyes. And then the shoelace is Weeks Dye Works Pearl Cotton size 5. So getting that through 36 count fabric was a little difficult, but I did it. It's just you're making such big holes. You better be sure that that's where you want your hole to be if you're doing this one. So then I just tied a cute little bow, And my cording trim is just DMC 310. I wanted it to be like a cabinet hanger, and this was kind of my first time trying to finish it so that you didn't have extra cording at the end. I tucked it inside the pillow and then I sewed it shut. I think in hindsight, I would overlap. Next time I would overlap, and then I wouldn't have this weird like seam in the, at least it's centered, but it worked. And then I made more cording for my hanger and just kind of hand stitched, made little knots, fluffed it up a little bit, hand stitched it to the corners, and I can hang it from a cabinet door this season. I have some Lori Holt autumn fabric on the back. And so that is Field Mouse Hollow. It's also stuffed with sawdust, which again, in hindsight, because sawdust is heavy, I wish I had used polyfill because it puts a lot of stress on my hanger, and it kind of makes me a little nervous. So same thing with like ornaments. If you're going to put it on your tree, I would recommend polyfill, just because those ornaments, they can get really heavy and I don't want my tree to fall over. So polyfill probably would have been better. But anyway, this is Field Mouse Hollow by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And then I think in my last video I had finished stitching. I think I had finished stitching this, but I needed to fully finish it. So this is my monthly weigh-in by Stitching with the Housewives, the August chart. And it's super, super cute. I just love the colors and I don't know. I'm not really a yellow person, but the colors in this chart are just so pretty. So, and if you watched my last video, you will, oh, I'm sorry, Coco. I disturbed her. And now I'm crooked. I'm cockeyed. I knocked my laptop too, I guess. So, oh my gosh. That's gonna be great. Let me see if I can fix this. I promise I didn't plan that. Okay, hold on. Okay. Anyway, my last video, if you remember, I was showing y'all all of my Stitching with the Housewife stuff, and I was showing y'all, I think, the July chart, and it got stuck to the wooden piece. And I couldn't get it off, and I knew like it was going to take some doing, but I did get it off. The magnet came with it, so I just had to re-glue the magnet, and yeah, it's fine. So I got my August one on there. The trick is to not use too much glue because it seeps through the hole on the washer and then it glues itself to the magnet. But what I ended up having to do was I got and this I should have filmed it because I would have had people screaming at the TV. I took a rotary cutting blade and I put it down here and I spun it around the magnet until it cut into the paint and the glue, and then it popped off. And then I think I had to do the same thing for the cardboard to get that off. It was fine, it worked out, but boy, it was dangerous. So that is my August monthly weigh-in, and now I have finished I finished July, August, September, October, November, and December. I've done 6 months. So for 6 months out of the year, I can have my monthly weigh-ins displayed, and hopefully I had someone reach out to me after my last video and offer to stitch the February chart because I'm not really a Valentine's Day stitcher, and I'm so excited because I was like, at first I was like, no, that's a lot to ask of someone to do that. And then I thought, well, I could do this in return. And she seems to really want to do it and enjoy stitching Valentine's Day. So I was like, okay, So I'm really excited that I'm going to have February done, and I have January started. So I have a couple of months to get January finished. So potentially I could have through February pretty soon here. And I have all the other shapes as well. They just need to be painted. But after this, I can put out September. And I'll be decorated through, hopefully, February. So that's monthly weigh-in by Stitching with the Housewives. And the wood pieces are all from Paisleys and Polka Dots, and her stuff is awesome. So definitely check that site out. She has a lot of really cute seasonal wood pieces. And I recently found some in my stash that I bought and forgot about, and I really need to do something with them. So here's a close-up of August. And I carried my threads on this. I was so over it because you do such like 6 stitches and then you have to, you know, switch colors. So I just started carrying my threads like 3 inches. I mean, it's Lugana. Who cares? You can't see it. But very cool. Very satisfying. So let me think. I was watching Java Girl Stitches a few weeks ago, and she was sharing, first of all, I love Pinkoween. That's just Halloween with pink added. I love the pink Halloween stuff. And she was sharing, she had done like a stitching tray that she painted black. I guess maybe she got it from like the unfinished wood aisle. I still need to get one, but I'm planning on doing the same thing. And I think these would be so cool to do for every season. So you could have a Christmas stitching tray and a Halloween and, you know, whatever. So I already had a layer cake of Hey Boo. Well, I already had it, but it was for a quilt. And then I decided I would just order a second one and have, you know, then I'd be able to like use the one I had for this idea. But there's a lot of pink in it and orange and black, and I love this fabric line. There's even some like purple. So I want to do what she did and like make a little liner for the tray with a little cross stitch by there's a lot of Primrose Cottage cross stitches that I think are really cute with the color pink added, and you can check out Christy's video at Java Girl Stitches. But I was super inspired, so I did get a jewelry box from Amazon. I think it was $17 maybe. And I did rip out the insides. It can be done. It's a little nerve-wracking at first, but I did pull everything out so that I can cover the inside pieces with fabric. Like I'm going to wrap fabric around this and put it back in and glue it down. And I got rid of the ring holder because I thought that's just useless. And I kept a couple of the dividers. And so I am going to eventually at some point, I hope, this year, make a little Halloween stitching box and fill it with cute things and have it with my stitching tray while I'm stitching this Halloween. So, and then she showed Christy did like a piece on top, like it was cross-stitched on top. And so I was trying to think of, like what can I put on mine? So I have a stack of stuff here. I found this pattern that I apparently had. I'll just wait for this to be over. Whiskey. Whiskey. Quiet. Stop. Whiskey. We have birds that like fly into the windows out here, and only one of them has died. there was a dead cardinal one day, but I don't know. It's annoying. They see the reflection of like the pasture, I think, and they don't know it's a window, and so they're constantly like hitting the windows, and it sets the dogs off every time. So this pattern, I had it in my stash, and I loved it, and I forgot that I had it in my stash, and so what did I do? I ordered it again, and then the next day I found it, and oh well. But I thought this would be cute. I was only gonna do witch hazel, and I thought that would fit on top of my jewelry box. But then I finished witch hazel, and I thought, well, there's still plenty of room that's going to be left on my jewelry box. So I added Eye of Newt, and I still think there's too much room left, so I'm gonna do another one, but I'm not sure which one, because I have about 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches to work with. And then I'm going to go back in and kind of add like some of the border motifs just to round it out a little bit. And the thread that I'm using, a couple of years ago, I bought from the Witchy Stitcher. She's in Canada. She had a Halloween thread pack from Cottage Garden Threads, and I had never used Cottage Garden Threads, but I thought the colors would be fun to get out for this. So I have been kind of using them here and there on different things. This is Charred Pumpkin, and the black, well, this is for another project, but wait, just kidding. I'm using Witchy Night and Charred Pumpkin on the pocket for potions. So that's what I'm using, and they're variegated. This one's like a purple, gray, charcoal. And Charred Pumpkin, it doesn't look variegated really, but there are darker spots, and it's very subtle, and I really like it. I'm using it on another project right now, and I really do like Charred Pumpkin. The only complaint I have is I have no idea how you're supposed to store the floss after you pull it off this card. Like, there's no instructions. Wait, no? Oh, there are instructions. Well, I ended up just cutting the card and punching the hang tab hole bigger. Now mine's ugly. Oh well. It's a very nice thread. You get 10 meters pre-cut into 50 centimeter lengths. Let's see if I can follow the instructions. It says pull left side down, untwist, no way, and then pull out length or strands. Well, I'll be. Alright, I stand corrected. There is a way. Dang it. Alright, so I'll show you the rest of that thread pack from the Witchy Stitcher. So we have Charred Pumpkin and Witchy Night. This is Ashes to Ashes. Black Ichor. Ghost Sheet. Swamp Water. And Putrid Purple. So it's really kind of a fun pack of threads. I'm doing a terrible job of holding these up. She still has the thread packs. I don't know when the cutoff date is for her to ship to the United States, though, because of the tariffs. So if you want to get this thread pack, if she still has it, definitely get on the witchystitcher.com and get you some, because I think she has it. I want to say it's like August 26th, maybe. I'm not sure. Or it's already passed. If it's passed, I'm sorry. But cottage garden threads you can buy anywhere. You might just have to poke around a bit for a shop that's got them in stock that's in the United States. So that was my plan for a pocket for potions. And if you look really closely, you can see maybe the variegation on the, what is it called? Witchy Night. I don't know if you can really tell, but I'll get back to it. I realized I was in the wrong hole. I was almost done with Eye of Newt before I was like, something is off, because you know when you start on a piece of linen, you've got to start next to a vertical thread, and I started realizing every new stitch I was creating was not next to a vertical thread, which was my first clue. So yeah, it's off, but the next one I do, it'll be on the correct thread. And it should line up, so I'm hoping to finish this soon, I hope. I got kind of burned out on it, so whether or not it gets done this year remains to be seen. And let's see. I'll show you the other project I was gonna do. I think I was gonna do this Ashes to Ashes. Ashes to Ashes and Charred Pumpkin. And everyone has been stitching this. Oops, sorry, I think I just knocked the microphone. Slightly Spooky by Little Robin Designs. And that's what I've got so far. I'm starting with the October 31st one. So it's kind of like a gradient effect. It starts orange and then turns black, and then the other two are just one color. But it surprised me. I didn't realize how tiny they were. This is on 36 count. I'm using Tiramisu by Under the Sea Fabrics. And sadly, I did the top border, and then when I came down here, I started it one stitch too far to the left. So everything under my top border is now one stitch off, and the only way to fix it, like reasonably fix it, is to just remove the top border and restitch that rather than take out everything under it. So that kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. But the more I stitch on it, the less intimidating taking out that top border feels. And I don't know if y'all can tell more on this, but that orange is variegated. There is some darker orange. It's really neat. So those are my projects with my thread pack. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other colors just yet. I would like to find a project where I can use them, because they're pretty fun. And let me see, what else was I have my top-down camera set up. I'll switch to that and just show you. I have a handful of projects here that I have been working on. I'll show you that, and then I'm going to come back here and just share my plans and all of the patterns sitting in front of me that I've kitted and I'm maybe going to get to this year. I've just sort of been collecting and hoarding at this point. So I have a lot of ideas and plans. I just don't know if I have enough time. So I will switch to my other camera and I'll be right back. So in my last video, I shared this whip that I started last year right before we moved, and I got the first chart finished, and then I had started the second one and didn't quite finish. I had stitched almost all of this up here, but I still needed to do the fence and the sign, and then I had a couple of back stitches and fill in the pumpkins, do the broom, cat's nose, like little things. So I was able to finish this chart the other day, so I just have to do the last chart, and I could potentially have a nice little display by Halloween. This is called When Witches Go Riding by With Thy Needle and Thread, and I believe I'm doing it on the called for, which is Vintage Country Mocha. I'm using 36 count, and I am using the called for threads, but I think what happened when I stitched this one, the called for was not showing up. I think the called for was Weeks Dye Works putty, and it was really ghosting into the fabric. So I pulled it out, and I think what I'm using is called, I think I'm using Weeks Palomino for the text. And then I have no idea why I did the broom, all 3 brooms in Weeks Dye Works Whiskey, because that is not the color the chart says to use. You're supposed to use like a darker, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Heirloom Gold by Gentle Arts. So I don't know if I'm going to take out the stitching on the, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, but I do like the color of the broom better. The color it's supposed to be. So I did finish that. So I have two ready to be made into pillows. I really wanted to do Hickety Pickety. I saw Lori Holt had stitched this and I thought it was really cute. My fabric I'm using is another one of the orphans from Needle and Flax. So it's just a random 36 count. I don't know what the name is. I kind of wish that she had labeled them with what the names were, just so that I could know, like, hey, maybe I want more of this one. But it's a really nice linen to stitch on, and I'm very glad that I got that deal. So Hickety Pickety is a rooster dragging a lady in a cart. And I showed this to my mom, and her first reaction was, that's cute. And then she said, this poor rooster, he's a single father of 7, and look how hard he's working. I'm like, where is the mother? So it's just kind of quirky and different, and I thought it was cute. And the colors are fun. Like her dress, that's a different green for Brenda. And the white that you see, it's really more of a really light blue, which is just kind of fun and different. So Hickety Pickety, I bought a little set off Amazon of stamps so I could do the little tag. I bought the tags, they're coming. And I do want to make this one into a pillow as well. So that's Hickety Pickety. Then yesterday I got a wild hair, and I decided I wanted to do, this is gonna be Booze, Hisses, and Cross Stitches, and I have the chart cover. I got the PDF version, but that's what it's supposed to look like. I like the purple in it, and I keep like trying to find Primrose Halloween stitches that I want to do in the pink that Christy at Java Girl Stitches is doing, and then I see the colors in the chart and I'm like, oh, but that's really pretty too. So I decided I am going to do the chart as pictured, but my threads I chose, I think this chart called for color and cotton, and I really don't have very much of color and cotton, and so I just went into my stash and pulled out colors that I think would work. So my purple is Rainy Day by Classic Colorworks. I'm using Ye Old Gold, Gingerbread, Wild Oats, Black Coffee, and Fallen Leaves. So, and then my fabric is 28 count light taupe Lugana. And you can tell I was in the middle of stitching it yesterday, and then I got totally distracted. So my mind has just been all over the place lately. So I'm planning on getting back to that one. And then on that same note, I can figure out what I did with, I'm also going to do Halloween Quaker, because I really like that one. I haven't started it yet, but I have my linen cut. Well, it's the same as the other one. It's 28 count light taupe. And my colors for this one, I did not have the called for, I don't think. So I just pulled, I'm going to use Coal by Weeks Dye Works. I had Sweet Potato, that was one of the called for. I'm going to use Grits and Bee's Knees. So that's going to be my palette for Halloween Quaker when I start it. The problem is I'm running out of project bags, so I'm going to have to either make more or use a Ziploc bag at this point. And then this is a restart. This is Halloween at Hollyberry Farm by Stacy Nash. And the reason I'm restarting it is because, well, I guess it was early 2023. I started it on 32 count, and I realized, well, it was taking a lot of thread because you're stitching 2/2. And so I wasn't really, I mean, at the time I was really into 32 count, and now I really prefer the stitching with one strand. So this is the same, I think it's, she says 35 count R&R 18th century rook, but I'm pretty sure I just bought 30. I don't know if 35 count is even a thing, but mine, according to the website I bought it from, is 36 count 18th century rook. And I am using all the called for on this. And when I first started it, I'll show y'all how far I got on the 32 count. I did a lot, and it's funny because the flowers, this is actually Carriage Black by Gentle Arts, and the flowers really look purple to me, which I love. But I got over to here, and the way I stitch is I do half stitches all the way across, and then I go back and I fill in my stitch with the second leg. And when I got over here, I was realizing the variegation, I was really losing the variegation doing that. So I decided I was using 2 strands and being really picky about how I pulled them from the skein, and I was doing 1 stitch at a time on that. And it was really kind of a pain, to be honest. And right about here I ran out of my Carriage Black. So this was a whole skein of Carriage Black doing 2/2. And I don't know. After that, I think I ordered like 5 or 6 skeins thinking, oh, I'm going to need a lot of this. And now I have a surplus of Carriage Black, but I'm not going to continue with this piece. So I'll probably just put it up for adoption at some point. Let someone else play with that. But so with this one, and I'm very close to the edge here. I don't know what possessed me to start. I think I started here. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I did that. So it's going to be fine. If I have to, I will go back and just make the leaves like a little bit stubbier. But this is as far out as the pattern goes. Everything else, it actually kind of moves back inward a little bit. So I'm not too worried about it. And then a fun thing I noticed was I didn't realize that the alphabet, it says A, Boo, C, D, Eek, F. I think that's really fun. So what I'm aiming for is to get down to the house, because that's going to be where all the work is, I think. So I was trying to set up some bones so that I could work my way down responsibly. I don't know why I didn't just start in the center. But whatever. So I'm hoping to work on this one a little bit more this season. Maybe the month of October I could just buckle down and work on this, and just, I don't expect to finish it this year, but it would be really neat to see how far I can get just monogamously stitching for the month of October on Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. The other thing I pulled out, and I didn't get too much done on it, but I shared it in my last video. This is the Salem Sisters Apothecary by Primrose Cottage. And I'm doing mine on, I think the called for was Vintage Country Mocha. But I have so many fun like Halloween fabrics. I decided XQ Designs, I think it's called Witch's Brew, this color. I bought it from Kitten Stitcher, so check her website because she probably still has it. It was available in purple and green, and I got both. And I just thought, let's do, since it's all black, I could use really any color linen I want. So I decided to go for the purple. And since last time, I went and I continued with the bottom of the cauldron. So I'm kind of filling in that part. And then I just have the right side to do some text and then all the back stitching. And I do have the backer board too. I was lucky enough to get one. Their dad makes them and sells them in his Etsy shop, which I can link below. It's called Mormon Made, but it's Mooreman, Mormon Made. Because I think that's their last name, Moore. But yeah, if he's still selling them, you'll find them in his Etsy shop. I know they go really quick. But I did see, I think it's either Chantel 141 or Paisley's and Polka Dots. They have some really nice options for a backer board for this piece if you can't get the called for the cover piece. I would definitely check out Chantel's 141 and Paisley's and Polka Dots. But I'm hoping that I will finish this one too, because I mean the board, I have it. It's right there. I could finish it. So one more thing. Maybe I have been wanting to start, I'll show y'all my big piece of linen. Maybe y'all can guess what I'm gonna put on it. I really want to start a Ghoultide Welcome. And about 3 weeks ago, I was toying with the idea of doing like a Ghoultide September and just stitching on this chart for the month of September. And I'm doing the DMCs because the called for was NPI silks, and that's, NPI is expensive. So my fabric that I think I'm going to go with, this is 36 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim. And I thought the colors would pop well enough. It's more of a gray than what's pictured. This is more of a yellow, and like I said, I'm not really a yellow person. So I'm liking the gray brown neutral. So I might still do that. I don't know if I want to commit to a whole month of monogamously stitching on something though, but I do want to start it. And I'm going to use, I got these from the Witchy Stitcher. These are planchette thread drops. And I'm not sure, I put stickers on the back for the DMC numbers. I'm not sure if they're going to stick. Because this is like MDF that was cut on a wood cutter. And I don't know if it's gonna... I hate to write on them, and I'd hate to glue the labels because they're really cool, but also at the same time, how long is it going to take me to finish this chart? I might as well just commit. But I still need to put my thread on these floss drops. And I've had them for a while. I just was waiting for the right project to come along. And if you want a set of these, she sells them in sets of 13. I did have to get 2 sets though, because there are, I think there's 15 colors in this chart. So we'll see what happens with that. And I think that's everything that I've worked on. I will go back to my other camera and finish up. So I think the stuff I have left is kind of both haul and plans, hopes and dreams, if you will. I'm part of the Seraphim Fabric of the Month Club through Garon Stitchery. I don't know what month this was, but when it came, I thought, oh, that would be perfect for some Halloween stitching. It's called Brittle Brush. And I'm still deciding on what chart would look good on this. It is definitely more of a golden amber color. So I have that. And then I also got, I love this one. It's called Old Rose, but it looks like a purple. It's like a lavender purple, and purple Halloween. That's fun. So I'm still trying to find a chart that would work with. So let's start with this. I got this kit from Country Sampler, right? Yeah. I get Country Stitches Online is Brenda Gervais' website, and then Country Sampler is the shop in Spring Green, Wisconsin. So I've seen a lot of people work on this over the years, and I do love me a good kit. So it came with all the thread, the rickrack, and the backing fabric for the pillow. So at some point, maybe I will work on this. It's definitely more of a fall Thanksgiving type of chart, so not top priority right now. I've also seen some people stitching Where the Bittersweet Blooms, and this one's small. It's 74 wide by 97 high. And when I was at Hobby Lobby the other day, I picked up this thinking perhaps it would fit, or I could find something that would fit on this. I also found, I want to say they had them in like the blue color as well, the tealish blue color that's so popular now. So I got these, and they were $6.99, and that's full price. So right now all the fall is 40% off, so 40% of $7. I mean, that's pretty good, you know, for nice wood pumpkins. So I have those set aside as potential finishing items. And I have all the thread fully kitted up for this project. It really looks like something I could do in a day or two, but you know me, I'm kind of overly ambitious. And I have a whining puppy at my feet. I'm surprised it took her this long. Come here. Everybody say hi to baby Jane. Yes. Did you just now figure out I was filming? She's been asleep in her bed. This next pattern is called Pumpkin Brew. And it's another one of Brenda's fun witches. I don't have the thread. Well, I don't have it kitted, but I'm pretty sure I have almost all of the thread. So I don't know if I'll do this one this year just because it's not kitted yet, but I have a lot here. I also did get the October wordplay because text is usually pretty quick to stitch. And I have all the thread I need for that one as well. It's really cute. I picked up this one. I wanted it when it first came out, and I think when it came out it was so close to Halloween I didn't think I was going to get to it that year, so I didn't buy it right away, but I did finally purchase it a couple of weeks ago. And I got the candlestick bottom for it from Country Sampler. This must have been with the Country Sampler order. But I have all the thread ready for it, and I just need to commit to a linen. And I got, for the top of it, I got the velveteen in the color Yams. I think because I couldn't find the darker orange, but I thought it would still look good. You know, it's orange. And I'm not really sure, but I was considering the purple fabric with this chart. I just don't know. I don't want to be disappointed when I go to finish it, like, oh. So I'm still thinking about it. I also got, I can't remember who showed this, but I had never seen it before. And it's called Queen of Harvest. My goodness, her breath is just terrible. It's cute, and it's actually smaller than you would think. It's 142 by 107. I thought it was huge, but I have that fully kitted with the thread as well. I just need to pick out some linen. But I like that. And then I have a couple here that are not Brenda Gervais. I like this chart. I saw Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I think someone stitched it and sent it to her. But I really I love historical stuff and fall. So I have all the thread I need for that. And it's more fall, and it's definitely fall, Thanksgiving. So maybe at some point. I don't know if I'll do it after Halloween. Usually I'm ready for Christmas. So not that we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but usually the stitching ship has sailed for fall and Halloween by then. And then I also picked up, this is Fancy Blackett's Brooms by Pineberry Lane. And I really like Pineberry Lane's style. And they have a lot of Fancy Blackett charts. This one was kind of my favorite, and I thought, it doesn't look like a whole lot of stitching, but it's a relatively large piece. I think it'd finish 10 by 10 maybe. So there's a lot of space in it. You know, maybe I could whip that one out relatively quickly. I don't know. And then I got Raccoon Rabble by Plum Street. And this one is all DMC except for 4 Weeks Dye Works colors. So I went ahead and kitted it with the Weeks. And I think it's cute. It's a little raccoon on a pumpkin down there. And we have a lot of raccoons out here in the country. So it kind of spoke to me a little bit. Oh, and then this one. I really like this one. We've been watching Wednesday, and I know that the Addams Family chart is really John and Abigail Addams. It's not the Addams family that we know of. But I like it's fun. It's like the Addams Family meets the Addams Family, you know, the eight. There's nothing out there. Whiskey, can you please be quiet? So yes, the Addams Family with Wednesday and Pugsley, you know, like it's ADDAMS, whereas John and Abigail Addams, it's just 1D. So I don't know. You can take it as you wish. Interpret it however you want. But the men look like they're wearing little pilgrim outfits, and then the women have like, you know, Morticia hair-ish kind of. And then, of course, it looks like, it reminds me of the game The Sims, Mortimer Goth's house. That's what I think of when I see that, so. I got this one, The Witch's Brew. I've had this in my stash for a while. I've done Hilda Boo and no, I've done that one, but I'm thinking of the coffee one, the regular coffee one. It's just like this, but it's for normal everyday. She's standing on a cup, etc. Like, I can't remember what it's called, but I've stitched that one, and this one I think is actually smaller. I'm pretty sure it's smaller. So once I realized that, I thought, oh, well, I could probably do that. So I would like to do that because I have the coffee one and I hang it from a cabinet knob in our kitchen with our coffee stuff. So it would be great if I could just switch out. it would be great if I could just switch out the hangers seasonally. That would be fun. This one, I just have the chart for this. This one looks like it could be fun too. And it's 115 wide by 90 high, so not huge, but I could do that one. And randomly, I guess I bought this. I had ordered from the Silver Needle a couple of weeks ago, and this chart was out of stock at the time, and then it showed up, and I like the little dog with it. She's got like a little dog, and it's just really cute, and it's small. It's not Halloween. It's 76 by 63. It's not very big, and I think I had all the threads except for Weeks Dye Works Jaybird, so I did get the thread. Just, you know, at some point in the future, I will stitch that up. And then I was looking at 2 more things. I've got, I forgot I had this 13 Spooky Smalls by Primrose Cottage. And I'm thinking I could totally throw some pink thread in any of these and have it for my stitching tray. There's a lot of cute little patterns in here that are quick and easy. I like the flower basket up there on the top right, top left. So it's a good book to have if you don't have it already. And then I forgot I had this. I think I didn't mean to order this one. I think the website, the Etsy site I got it from, they had it. I was trying to get 13 Spooky Smalls, but for some reason, I don't know. I ended up with this, and then I messaged her and I said, hey, I'll pay for this, but can you actually send 13 Spooky Smalls? So this is Halloween letters. And if you've seen Christy at Java Girl Stitches, she did Eeks and Shrieks, but she did it so it was Eeks and then she did like a line break and put Shrieks underneath it. And she had added the pink in there. I think maybe she subbed the purple with pink, and it was super cute. So I might copy her or do a few of these, just pull them out and do them separately. Because I'd like to have like a little mug rug and maybe a little pillow, and then, you know, just cute little stitching displays. So I might pull one of those out. So that's all of my plans, I think. I'm gonna get my stack of haul because it has been a long while since my last video. I think that's everything though. So let me go grab that. It's 12:40 and these dogs want LUNCH. Okay. I have a very tall pile here that's gonna fall. Yes. If I don't pick her up, she will sit at my feet and bark at me. So. All right, I picked up plum pudding. I think it was part of my Silver Needle order, and I thought it was really cute. So this Christmas, maybe I will. I mean, I have so many Christmas things kitted up. Whether or not I make this year is anyone's guess. But I bought that, and I was only missing a couple of the threads for it, so grab those as well. And then I was watching Jordan, the Tattooed Stitcher, and she gave me another idea, which was Stacy Nash's Spring Chickens Pin Keep. I got the chart. I still need to get Weeks charcoal for it, but I have all the threads. And Jordan, I can't remember if she was stitching it on this or she did stitch it, but Kitten Stitcher has, I think it's an exclusive. It's called Farm Eggs. And it's a 40 count. I think she has it in 36, but Jordan had mentioned how perfect that would be on, well, if you stitched spring chickens on farm eggs. Like, I thought that'd be fun. So I have admired the pattern for a while. The chickens, the way they're charted with the colors, it's really quite detailed. So I thought I'll use it as an excuse. So I got that. And then I think I was trying to get free shipping, so I picked up, I thought this was cute. Just a little pillow to put next to your stitching chair. My only complaint about this is, I'll flash the chart really quick, but the chart is tiny. Like, I think I'm gonna need a magnifier just to see the chart. That's kind of the only thing. I didn't know that. The stitch count is 161 by 38, so it's long and skinny. So there's that one. And then I put out like an APB on Instagram. I was looking for this chart, Happy Birthday America, and I got a copy. Someone reached out and said that they had an extra copy. They even had a piece of the linen that you see on the side of the drum. So I was able to get this. It's hard to find. I had tried to order it from the Silver Needle because it was on their website listed as in stock, and then it wasn't actually in stock. So their inventory didn't match what they had in their store. So my plan is to stitch this for next 4th of July for the 250th anniversary of America. And I'm all ready to go on that. I also have, this was my piece of oil green that I bought from Kitten Stitcher. It's an XG fabric. I used it on my lollies, crows, and candy corn, so I just need to put it away. I am part of the Fox and Rabbit Fabric Club. June 2025 was Cooper Petey. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I got that one. And then the July shipment was called Smudge, which is kind of fun. It's a nice gray, just very neutral gray. And then Kitten Stitcher, again, they're doing like fabric of the month, but it's not a club. It's just when the fabric's gone, it's gone. So every month they're releasing like an exclusive linen, and the first month was 36 count goat's cheese. And I just thought, I have FOMO, so I did get a piece of it, and I think that, yeah, 36 count. I'm also part of Grace Notes Fabric Club, and I guess I might be doing a mix. I'm not sure, because the last couple of colors I've gotten have been colors, not neutrals, but I'm trying to build my 40 count stash, and so the color that I got last was called Corn Silk. And it is super yellow, and I don't like it. This is probably going to get destashed. I don't know. I mean, maybe like an Easter stitch? I don't know. Like, what do you stitch on this yellow? So there's that. And then I have been wanting to try 46 count. Oops, I'm going to have an avalanche of stuff fall in a minute. I got 46 count. These are Cedar River linens that I bought through Kitten Stitcher. This is Scrimshaw. I think I was considering doing Hands Across the Sea, Queen of the May. I think I was thinking of doing it on this one, but that remains to be seen. And then I got Cedar River linen 46 count coffee stain. This is such a good one. I love this one. It's a little bit darker than, that's closer. And then I guess I've been buying a lot of linen. Needle and Flax put out on Instagram that she had orphans that needed to be rehomed for a crazy deal. It was like $19 for a fat quarter. So what did I do? I bought like 6. So I went and I made my first purchase, and then I, of course, texted my friend Emily, and I was like, you better get over there. And she went and purchased, and I asked her what she got. She said she got medium, I think, and I was like, oh, I didn't see medium. I better go back and make a second order. So I don't know what these are called. I just know that on each one of them there's some kind of defect, and like here you can see just barely there's a little reddish pink dot. Like, oh my gosh, that's nothing. So 36 count. These are the light colors. So I got that one. I don't know what it's actually supposed to be called. And then this is medium. So if you have a chance to get, I won't show you all the other ones just because, I mean, it's all pretty much the same thing. It's just linens I don't know the name of. They're 36 count. That is from, I bought from Fat Quarter Shop some light taupe Lugana for the primrose stitches. And then I was also trying to get free shipping, so I got Jump Clump, which if you're not into spiders, I'm not into spiders, but I don't mind them until they reach a certain size. Like the one time I saw a tarantula at my parents' house. I'm still not over it. I will be forever traumatized. But yeah, I thought this was really cute. And there's always a little baby spider. They're just adorable. So I got that pattern and Bright Leaf Weeks just because I think that was the one I did not have. And then my last two things I just thought this was so cute. Tiny Modernist came out with a few new patterns. And this is called, the Tea Goddess. And she stitched it on Grandpa's Sleeve by XU Designs, which I have, and I mean, it's just fun. I like the colors. I like the idea of tea. I drink mostly coffee. I don't really drink tea. I want to drink tea, and I want to be a tea person. So, I don't know. I've done the Bee Queen, which y'all saw earlier in this video. And I have done the Halloween one. I think it's called the Stitch Witch. But, I just thought that was pretty. And then she has a new Halloween pattern called The Witch's Kitchen. So I picked up a copy of that as well. I don't know if I'll stitch it. Like, sometimes I just buy things because they're pretty and I want to look at them, and looking at them makes me happy. So I don't do that for everything, but I don't like putting pressure on myself. Just because I bought this chart, I have to stitch it. So, you know, maybe I just want to look at it and think about it. And maybe one day I'll do it, maybe I won't. But anyway, I think that's everything I have for today. These dogs are starving to death, so I'm going to feed them. And myself, because I forgot to eat. And I'm planning on my next video, I really want to share all of my previous Halloween finishes because I have a ton. So I'm either going to hold them up to the camera or I'm going to do like a tour, because Jake is wanting to decorate for fall and Halloween like September. Well, he'd do it July 1st if he could, but I'm making him wait until September 1st before we start getting stuff out, just because I don't want to get sick of it. I love this time of year and I don't want to be burned out by like August or October 1st. So we're planning on doing that, and this week I am focusing on getting some customer quilts quilted up so that next week I can return to project bag making. If you want to be notified when I have project bags available, or when I will have project bags available, I'll put a link down below. She is making so much groaning noises, like it's so hard. I'll put a link down below in the description box where you can sign up to be notified via email when I have project bags coming. And I'm really excited about this next batch because they're going to be Halloween themed, and I need about 10 of them. So I'll be making those, and I think that's more or less it. I have other things planned, like I got the Lori Holt Peace and Plenty fabric, and I am going to be making project bags out of those after the Halloween ones probably. But if you want to be kept up to date on when those are going to be available, just check out the link below and sign up, and I will send out emails as soon as I am ready to take pre-orders. Or I also have a couple of bags left from the Peace and Plenty collection, so at some point those are going to go up on my Etsy shop as well. But you'll have warning if you're on the email list, so don't worry about it if you think you're going to miss out. That's it. So I'm off. I'm going to go feed the dogs, get some food, get some coffee. I have a meeting at 1:30. And this one, she's trembling with anticipation because she wants to be fed. You say goodbye? She's the cutest freaking dog. Okay. All right, I'll see y'all next time. I look like crap. I thought I was ready. Okay, so blah, 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 blah.